Hey everybody, it's Jenny and I'm back with you again today to share how I planned this week in my hobby planner. There is a look at last week, my Disney themed slash Mickey Mouse themed week. I love it. I love how it turned out. I love how at the end of the week I love it even more because it's all filled in and looks great. The color palette is just so cheerful and fun and reminds me of one of my favorite things, which is Disneyland. Now this week is going to be super different. I'm taking a total 180 in terms of color palette, and we'll be working with the, I guess it's the May Planner Society kit, and it's cheerful and summery and pink and green and all things. Now look at that. Seriously, I don't wish that on anybody. And that right there is why you have not seen me around much here lately, because quite frankly, I can't even keep up. It's just way too much for me. So I'm going to start by removing the sticky notes from Monday, and even 4 sticky notes is an overwhelming amount of stuff. And seriously, it's just not even all of it. I can't even begin to tell you what a chaotic mess things have been for the last week and a half. And none of it's bad. It's all really good stuff. It's just a lot of craziness with 3 boys, 5 sports, and then regular life. Now, as you can see, I am first taking this Planner Society washi and putting it down in the lower left-hand column. So I pretty much almost never decorate first, but I decided, you know what, I really had this vision of what I wanted to do down there, and so I decided to just go for it and make my functional plans work around it. I'm using my X-Acto knife to trim up the washi tape, and then I'm going to take a little die cut and use my Tombow MonoAdhesive to adhere the die cut down, and I love it. It sticks really well. It's super easy to use, and that's kind of one of those things that those are just really important to me. It's maybe not the cheapest adhesive on the block, but it's awesome. Anyway, we'll get back to that in just a second. So here, see, that's where I'm dumping out all the die cuts and looking for the perfect one for the week. And I mean, I could have used like one of 100 because there's so many great ones, but then I end up on this one because it's just so stinking cute and is a great motivator for the week. So anyway, there's that mono adhesive I was talking about. Like I said, you can definitely get cheaper, that's for sure. But I'm not saying it's like super expensive or anything either. I'm just saying that there's definitely cheaper, but I love that one. Now I'm going to use this planner stencil just to write in my to-do list. Now the reason I'm using the stencil here is because I have my bottom box compromised by the die cut and the washi tape, so I needed to be able to use exactly what I needed there and what would fit. So that's where the stencil came in, because you are able to manipulate it exactly as you need it to be. And I used a pink PaperMate Flair pen and I loved it, except for it did get a little bleed over from the black ink that was still on the stencil. No bother, I'm okay with it, and it's just 1 week and it's really not that big of a deal to me. And quite frankly, I was too busy to even notice or care. Now I've used a half box right there, and I'm going to write my activity in, and I'm using a PaperMate Flair black pen. And I will link up my very favorite way to buy the black pens down in the boxes below. And I just love being able to have those on hand. Now you will see right here I'm using the Studio L2E. I don't know why I always have a hard time saying that, but I do. Stamp set. And what I love about these is they already have some of the words. So like practice is already at the top. I don't need to write that. So it helps me save a little bit of space. It helps me save the teeniest amount of time. And so that can be really fun to have. And I like it in conjunction with this really floral, beautiful, because it's so linear and modern, and just the juxtaposition is really super cool. Now I'm moving some of the sticky notes away that I've already written the activities, because quite frankly, with so much going on, it's easy for me to get confused. And it's not even a lie. There's just so many activities I can hardly even stand it. So I might as well move those away and not confuse myself any further. Now as you can see, I'm using the Versafine black ink like I always do, inking up the stamp and using the round Sweet Stamp Shop block. And I absolutely love it. It's so awesome, and it just is really easy to use. So if you're in the market for a stamp block, I highly recommend it. So now I'm ready to move on to Tuesday, and again, I need to pull off the myriad of sticky notes that I have there. There's just too many, and quite frankly, I wish that there were a few less. And then I'm putting down the cute little clipboard. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out this stamp. It's an older one that I've had for a while, and it says, well, I guess I'm not going to do that first, am I? Anyway, let's start something else. So instead, I'm just using the little push pin stamp, which I really do love a lot. It's just super fun to use and an awesome reminder. Like for me, like, you know, just reminding myself, oh yeah, I've got this going on. So anyway, here's this older little stamp, and it actually says things to do. So what I'm going to do instead is ink up just the to-do part of the stamp. And so then I will place it right there on the little clip part of the clipboard. So I still have the header for my to-do list, and it fits perfectly in the little space, and it was easy to do, no problem at all. Now, I do love changing up little elements here and there, so that's where the change of the to-do list, and not only that, but the change of the type of to-do list. So now I am stamping from more tabs from Sweet Stamp Shop, a little box right there. And what's so cool about it is that it's just really, really cute. But then I also love that it adds a little space to add a small little icon right there. So I can use pretty much anything. And this time I'm choosing to use the teeny tiny little basketball, and I've stamped it right there. And now after I've wiped it off with a baby wipe, I can go ahead and just add the date or the activity and the time. Now the reason I wipe off my stamps is because I'm inherently super messy, and I don't want to transfer stray ink onto my paper or onto my workspace. I don't really care about the stamps being stained or anything like that. That's not the purpose for me. Although everybody has their own reasons for different things. It might bother people that their stamps are stained. It doesn't bother me at all. It actually means I used it, and that makes me super happy. But I would inadvertently wipe my finger on it, get some ink on something, then it'll be somewhere else and it'll be a big old pain, and I don't want that either. So that's why I wipe them off with an alcohol-free baby wipe. And if you're wondering, I really like the Huggies brand. They're extra wet, and I feel like it just helps me move a little bit quicker, get the ink off a little bit faster. Now, as you can see, I used one of my beloved Planner Junkie little peekaboo boxes. Love it. It's so fun. It looks super cute, and then it's crazy functional too. So when you can find a functional stamp or sticker that looks adorable too, sign me up, because that's sort of the best part of planning for me. As you could see also on that stamp or on that sheet of stickers, there were like 100 stickers or something. I don't really know. I actually never counted or anything like that. But so many. So talk about a good value too. So highly recommended. Now, as you can see, I'm going through this set of stickers, and I'm just looking for something that'll work with my color palette that has just a small amount of like little check boxes or whatever for my to-do list. I know that my Wednesday is so busy, so I really, honestly, my to-do list is going to be sorely neglected. So why not set myself up for success? Make it super short, because I know I'm not going to get a ton of stuff done, and save room and have plenty of room for all of my activities and events. Using my beloved stuff to do, because why not, right? And wiping off the excess ink right there. Now I need to start getting all of the activities down that I have moved the sticky notes for, and there were just so many things. It's really hard to know where to even begin. I mean, where does one start? So I use the practice stamp from Studio L2E and the clear stamp block, and then I will just write in the practice time, and I use initials for my sons, and then I just write in the time. So I don't know if your full family have the same initials. That might be a little bit more difficult, and you might have to find a different way to do that. But for me, my sons all have different initials, so it works out great. It saves space, and it also saves time in that I'm not writing out their names. And when you have sons named Campbell and Harrison that have 8 letters each, you are grateful to not have to write them out the entire time. Now, Sawyer's not as bad. It's only 6 letters, but still. I didn't pick Joe and Jack and Sam, you know, which would have been awesome in terms of planning. Now, talk about also awesome. Those flag boxes from the Planner Junkie, are also so cool. They give me that pop of color, plenty of room to write, and so they look really good. And the third little bonus is that there's a little bit of room at the top. So if I want to add like a little icon sticker or something to make it a little bit more cute, I can totally do that too. So I love that. I love that there's just opportunities to take super functional stickers like these 2 that I already talked about with you from the Planner Junkie and make them cute, right? I mean, because I want my pages to look good, but also just get the job done. Am I right? So now we have another half box sticker, and I'm just writing in my activities and events and all the details that I need to add. And then sometimes it's just not enough room. So right there, like I have to add a little arrow with more information, because quite frankly, I just couldn't even fit it all in. And there are very, very few products out there that are going to be able to do all the jobs. So it's really up to me to figure out how to make the things that I like work best for me in different applications. So now it's time to pull from the right side, which I'm not too bummed about because as you can see, it's significantly less full. So that to me means, okay, let's take a deep breath and I can actually maybe just have a little bit of fun and quite frankly, maybe relax a little bit. Now I'm taking my to-do list back down to the bottom box and using the clipboard because quite frankly, I cannot resist the clipboard. Another side note, I use the Planner Society kits in my memory planner and I use them in my social media planner. The little clipboards are not something that are easy for me to use in those other two places. So you see them quite a bit in this day-to-day planner because they're great for that purpose. So it's really just knowing what the supplies and knowing how you use them too. And not being afraid to try different ways because I've absolutely used the clipboards in those planners too. It's just being in the right frame of mind. Am I feeling adventurous this week? Am I not? Am I just feeling like I've got to just get it done? It's not working for me to be creative or thinking outside the box. Those types of things, right? Now, I love that little box. I think it's so cute. The little flag is adorable. And I also just love popping in these teeny tiny incy weensy little stickers like the little basketball. It's just so cute right there. Now, I absolutely wouldn't have to. Actually, quite frankly, what I should do is take a marker and just color it because it would add that really fun little pop of color. But, you know, I'm kind of a creature of habit and I like those little basketballs there, so I put them there all the time. What am I going to say? Now adding just a really cute little strip, it takes the place of washi, and what I like about it is that sometimes you get a whole roll of washi and I'm not sure that I'm ever going to use up the entire roll. So a couple of strips of decorative stickers just is perfect because like I get a little taste of it and it's great and then it's done. It's over. It's not taking up space in my craft room and I'm not feeling guilt for when I'm ever going to use that entire roll of washi. So now I'm just writing in Harry's activity for Saturday, and quite frankly, at this point, I'm pretty much clicking my heels up because I am nearing the end of the road of my plans for the week, and you don't even know how happy that makes me after 2 or 3 weeks of just insanity. Now I'm going to take these little alphabet stickers and I'm going to spell out Arizona and USA. My oldest son and my husband will be going to Arizona for a baseball tournament. And next week you'll see when I go, but for right now you're just seeing that I'm marking off when the two of them are going so that I can kind of keep that in mind when I'm adding things, when I'm looking at my overall week and that type of thing. These alphabet stickers are adorable, they're super cute, they're tiny, they look like a typewriter. I really love the whole thing. And the green matches great with the kit. Now I was going to spell out USA Baseball. However, there was not room for the word baseball. So instead, I pulled out my little Libby's Littles sticker of the baseball, and I'm just pairing that with the word USA, and it just turns out awesome. I really love it. So now you can see that I'm pretty much finished. I'm just going to add the last little touches, and that's it for me. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I always really appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment box below, and I will do my very best to get back to you. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.